as many of y'all know, I'm completely fascinated with the upcoming Artemis mission. That's right. Apparently, we're going back to space. Not just going back to space, excuse me. We're in space like all the time, apparently. But we're going back to the moon. And they already have the 4 astronauts picked out to go to the moon. So I want to get to know the astronauts. And as I predicted a while ago, that we have basically a
Of course it stops loading.
multiracial and I guess multi-sex crew. They were smart enough to put a black guy on the 4-man Artemis crew and a lady. Because in these times, in these politically correct times that we live in, there was no way you could just send up a bunch of white guys again. That wasn't going to fly. Could you imagine like the protests? Here we are. Oh, we're back on the moon again, everybody. But yet it's all white guys. And then there's like race riots that break out, like in St. Louis and Chicago and all those other places. They couldn't have that. There was no way. So we have the multi-ethnic, multi-sexed crew heading back to the moon, everybody. So let's meet the Artemis crew. They were on the Today Show, which I think is ABC. So let's meet this fine crew, these new American heroes that are going to be instituting a whole new age of space. And America's going back. And of course it's going to be America. Again, we weren't going to let those damn Ruskies go up there, or even those Chinese. But apparently the Chinese are heading to the moon too. So we better get up there. Now, I know they keep delaying this Artemis mission like over and over and over again, and like we were supposed to go like this year, then they push it off, but at least they have the astronauts picked out. They better hurry up because these guys might age out. Like they're all young and healthy now, but I don't know. Don't take too long. Let's meet them.
When Gene Cernan and Jack Schmitt left the lunar surface in 1972. And our agency talks a lot right now about the Artemis generation, and we are proud to be a part of the Artemis generation. We are the Artemis generation, and we are going back to the moon.
And we are so honored to have with us this morning Commander Reed Weissman, Pilot Victor Glover, Mission Specialist Christina Hammock-Cook, and Mission Specialist Jeremy Hansen. Guys, good morning.
Hi.
Good morning. You got the intro from Mr. Al Roker. What happened, Al? You were looking so svelte there for a while. When Al, I don't know if Al got like the lap band surgery or he was on Ozempic, but remember when Al Roker he lost all that weight and he became one of those guys where he had like a big head and like a toothpick body. And then he glitched out. Who remembers when Al Roker like was one of the reporters that glitched out a couple years ago? Remember when all the reporters were just like short-circuiting live on air? Well, Al was one of them. Who knows? Maybe his blood sugar dropped. But either way, I don't think he's going to have that problem now because he looks like he's got that tire back around his waist and he's back to the old Al Roker that I grew up with. The more jolly Al. It's okay, Al. You're one of those guys that kind of needs to be pudgy. We need a fat Al Roker, not a skinny one. There's a bunch of people like that. Like Adele, she's another one. I want the fat Adele back. I want the Adele that was like an old-timey opera singer, you know, like It Ain't Over Till the Fat Lady Sings. That was the Adele. I don't need a skinny Adele up there, like smoking cigarettes, popping like diet pills and enemas. I don't need that Adele. I want the old Adele, and I'm glad we have the old Al Roker back. I'm just saying. And here Al is with these other 3 sycophants on this weird couch. And they're meeting our new American heroes. I just start staring at their faces, like these people. I'm like, I'm trying to pick up on like every little tick. They're all like Dexter to me. They all have like a psychotic Dexter look. And that's like every ISS astronaut. But these guys, if you'll notice, they're a little bit more, let's say, clean cut, a little bit more like steely-eyed than like the average moronic ISS astronaut that we've been given over the last, let's say, 20 some years. They kind of pick these guys look like they have the right stuff a little bit more than those guys, which is good because whoever they have like running the PR department, they smartened up a little bit because you need people that look the part. You need guys that look like Maverick and Iceman. You can't have like these other morons that they've been passing off as astronauts. So they're good in there, but I'm just trying to figure out like what are these people up to? What do they know? Are they MK Ultra mind controlled? Like what's going on with them?
Do you realize when you think about this, you guys are going to be re-inspiring a whole generation. I remember sitting here with my family when Neil Armstrong, around 11 o'clock at night, touchdown on the moon. You guys are going to be circling it. This is a real moment for us.
We're calling it the art.
It is. It's a real moment. Remember, Al, when you watched Neil Armstrong touchdown and the completely real footage that we all saw that we're all still going with? Here's the thing, guys. Look, I'm going to just say this. If you're a NASA fanboy, like, I'm embarrassed for you. I have third-hand embarrassment for you. Okay, if you're just like the average idiot who's not paying attention, okay. I'm going to cut you some slack. But if you're one of these morons that's like in love with NASA, like you're wearing your NASA shirt, you're on like the NASA Twitter page, I'm embarrassed for you. They're still going with the moon landing story was real thing. They have to. They can't give it up. They've built their way to this. And now here we are in this insanity. In this day and age, we're watching this complete insane charade right in front of us. And everybody watches this just every morning as they're like making their scrambled eggs and they're watching the weather. So it just seems real. Well, the weather's real. They said it was going to rain and it rained. Oh, they said Biden's the new president and he's the president. They say we're going to the moon. So of course we're going to the moon. It's so crazy.
At the Artemis generation, we're getting to go for the kids right now that are in school, motivating them in STEM. Doesn't matter which direction they choose to go. Our nation, our world needs teachers. It needs doctors. It needs nurses.
All right, so he just went off in a weird direction. Oh, it's for the kids. We're motivating them in STEM and doctors and nurses. Yeah, that's the problem. Because this is presented to kids. Please don't blow these guys up this time. Because I remember I was one of those kids. Hey, guys, do you remember when you were a kid in the mid-'80s and you were just so enthralled with NASA and space? And then they brought all those TVs in to like our little elementary school and middle school rooms. And the teachers were so excited. And then we watched that damn space shuttle just blow up right in front of us. You remember that? Are you doing this for them? So please don't blow up this time. Make it and come back. And then we could all just pretend like you did it. And then all these kids could be happy and they could become like adult morons that believe this. And they'll have like their high paying jobs for some weird faceless corporation, you know, at some like weird little desk. And then like they'll get married and they'll just have their big wedding. And then they'll get divorced after they have 2 kids. But then they'll get their second wife and stepmom. And then, you know, everybody could just like, keep doing this whole thing that we're doing. We'll just like keep doing like this whole thing. And then like every once in a while, we'll have like a fake pandemic and we just jab everybody up with a bunch of poison and everybody just to believe it because they'll say science, dum-dum. We went to the fucking moon because of science. Don't be a science denier. Right. We're doing this for the kids so they could be in STEM and go into science and technology and engineering and mathematics. And they could become dumb doctors that put a bunch of fucking vaccines in a bunch of kids. Yeah. Right?
Nurses, it needs engineers, it needs veterinarians, and all of that is really important to us, Al. It's a complete honor to get to go do this awesome. And hopefully inspire the world right now.
And part of the mission is, as we understand it, is going to be sort of helping to establish this long-term presence on the moon, then on Mars as well.
Yeah.
How will we know if it's going well on the mission? What are the indicators that we're looking for?
That the spacecraft comes back. That's number one.
Job number
Oh,
one.
the black guy's funny. Look at that. He made everybody get yucks. Exactly. That it comes back. He's funny. They could have did better though. I don't know, maybe Chris Rock. He would have been funnier. Like that guy delivered it, and he got a lot of yucks out of the idiot, news guys. But Chris Rock, I think, would have got a bigger laugh. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's number one.
Yes. Besides that,
Well, so along the way, you'll get updates from Mission Control. They'll actually be broadcasting, and we'll have some folks doing announcements about how the mission's going, giving you updates, and you may even get live shots of the crew and outside from the cameras that are all around the spacecraft.
That's awesome.
That is too cool. This is as close as I will ever get to true greatness, but I did hear a rumor that you guys might not be so great at showing up on time, at least two of you, to the meet. So tell me this.
Let me guess. There's 3 people there. Can you guess which one was probably late to the meeting? Let me guess. I mean, I've heard of colored people time. I'm just saying, like, I don't want to stereotype people here, but if I had to guess, one of those 2 people that were late was, the brother. I'm just guessing. Who knows? Let's see.
Tell me the story about when you found out that you were going to be on this mission, and how could you possibly show up late to the meeting?
Well, to keep it secret, there was a different pretext put on
personal.
our calendars for this meeting. And so,
Yes.
yes, 2 out of the 3 of us showed up late, 1 not at all. And yeah, we had no idea what was coming.
And so when you walked in,
I don't want to be rude, but it's quite possible that the chick is a transgendered. So we may have the trifecta here. The first black person on the moon, the first woman on the moon, and the first transgendered woman on the moon. Who even cares about the white guys? Leave them home. Just send the tranny and the black guy up there together. We don't even need the white guys anymore. I say get rid of the white guys and put an Asian in there. Or let's really mix it up. Put an Asian and a Puerto Rican. If I had to guess, Puerto Ricans will be the last race on the moon. There's going to be an Amish guy on the moon before a Puerto Rican guy gets up there. I'm just saying.
and I mean, was it clear what you were late to?
Immediate.
Wait, they were about to tell you, wait, congratulations, you're going to space?
Yes.
They were about to break the news to us about the crew announcement and who had been chosen. We had no idea that was what was coming.
Yeah.
We weren't sure, of course, until we actually heard the words. But when we walked in that room and saw our boss and our boss's boss, we knew we were late to the wrong meeting.
That's so funny. Kind of a big deal.
I didn't make it at all.
Not
So I
making
come
anybody
on
proud.
like the video chat and I see my boss, my boss's boss. I see Victor, I see Christina. I was like, oh no.
Oh, that's so funny. Like, we just wanted to say hi for this meeting. So, Christina, we showed this picture of you earlier in the show. This is back when you were just a little girl. Look at this picture. You were in space camp.
I was.
How old were you? Do you remember?
Probably middle school.
Oh.
And look at you now. What do you think that little girl would think of the woman here on this couch?
You know, I remember loving putting on that blue suit at space camp. It was the coolest thing ever to me, and I never thought that it would really happen. I took a very unconventional path to get here, but it was important to me to follow my passions. And
That's amazing.
that's the message I would share.
What a journey.
Yeah.
And Victor, speaking of journeys, last time we chatted on the third hour, you just completed this historic 6-month time up in space. You celebrated your birthday up in space. This one's going to be a little shorter, 10 days.
Yes.
How are the two going to compare, do you think?
Well, like you said, this one will be a lot shorter, but we're going to go a lot faster. You know, when they give us the go for TLI, translunar injection, we're going to go about 7 miles a second, the speed that'll get us to the moon. But it's really interesting because that is the same burn that will get us back to Earth and back into the Pacific Ocean safely. We won't have a space station that we're going to. The spacecraft we travel to the moon in is where we will be the entire time, testing out the life support systems, habitation, exercise, food, the bathroom, and such.
The bathroom.
Paramount. Jeremy, what are you most excited about with regard to the mission?
I think we're all really excited about the international collaboration and like Reed said, just inspiring the world and trying to bring people together. It's just such an amazing example of great American leadership to lift up other countries to make space for others to shine and contribute. And that is, we have global problems on this planet right now, and we need global solutions. And this is going to be a shining example of how we could do better as a human race.
And Jeremy, you the pride of Canada. So
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, it's really highlighted the work of the Canadian Space Agency, but showing Canadians what the entire country can accomplish.
That's a great picture. That's a great picture.
That's great.
Good on you guys.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
What were you about to say?
I was going to say, he's the pride of our crew. Look at this.
I will say.
He does look a little Buzz Lightyear.
I did say earlier, I said they couldn't have picked a more beautiful bunch
I know.
of people.
That's right.
Oh yeah, what a coincidence! Kind of like what Z said before I played this. Like these people are right at a central casting for this. This is psychopathic, people. I'm wondering if they might believe that they're going up there. That brother might have thought he was in space for 6 months. This is where I am with this. You might think I'm crazy for saying this shit. I'm to the point now where Elon Musk might think that like he's doing real things. I think this goes way deeper than even many of us could conjecture. It's easy for us to go, oh yeah, they're just like a bunch of psychopaths and they're just lying to us and like laughing at us at like their weird like Rothschild parties where they wear bird cages on their head and fucking deer antlers and drink adrenochrome. Okay, maybe. It might be like way more weird than we think.
Straight out of Central.
I was just about to say Central Casting.
I can't wait to see the action figures.
Well
The crew
done,
of
Nelson.
Artemis II, thank you so much. We are so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.